torques and speed in perfect union. Racing hearts and racing cars, they are the brightest stars. Keep it flat out, yeah. Keep it been, keep it real, oh, you know what to do. Keep it
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of Simsational TV's round 6 of the Big Banger Championship, where the engines are loud and the racing is wild. And the only thing more chaotic than these cars is Canberra during a city week in Parliament. Yes, we're at the nation's capital, a place where the roads are confusing and the roundabouts are endless. And the only things that change direction more violently than our drivers are Australian politicians during a question time. I'm telling you what. And speaking of chaos, the Canberra Street Circuit is no joke. A temporary racetrack once carved through the parliamentary precinct itself. It was infamous for tight chicanes, sudden elevation changes, and a back straight that lured drivers into overconfidence. The instant regret came through their mind as that happened. But unlike Parliament, there's no question time here. It's just flat out commitment. So buckle up for round 6. It's concrete walls, brutal corners, big horsepower, and a circuit as unpredictable as the next leadership spill in Parliament. This is the Big Bangers. This is round 6. This is the Canberra Street Circuit, and you're watching it live on Simsational TV. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another iteration of the Big Bangers. It's on like Donkey Kong here. We're getting it ready and rip-snorted and ready to go. I can give you the hot tip. And this is where we are in the championship. If you haven't caught up by now, it's around 6 of the championship. And Canberra is where we are. Bathurst, Oran Park, Darwin, Eastern Creek, Calder Park. All been signed off and Gonskis, and this one is the ultimate test of the season. Who's going to come out winning this one? We do not know. But sitting next to me in the commentary box is a man that needs no introduction. He doesn't need anything, in fact, because he's got it all. He's got all the talent. He's got all the magnificent jewels in his pocket. He's got a massively long forearm, and his name is Christopher Munro in the commentary box. Good to have you here tonight with me, Chris. Twenty-four.
In second position, McFadden third. Des Murata has not been cited in the server either, so he'll be dropping down the ranks a bit. James Bullock I haven't seen either. Dion Clerk I haven't seen. Where are all these folks? Remo Grand's out there, so he's going to go up a bit. So is Corks, Elliott and Patterson at the moment. So we're looking forward to a good old scrap out here tonight, and I think we're just about ready to go qualifying Zach O'Reilly.
We are indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This qualifying session is going to be a very tight one indeed, and what better place to start one than at the front of a pit lane, and that is exactly where that man Jason McFadden is right now. And we'll get and have a look at his beautiful Rangiart Sim Blacks car there in 25 himself. He's keen as a bean to get himself ready and roaring and ready to go is this man tonight. So we're going to be excited to see what he can produce out of it all. But as you said, Dean Hanley's been the man of the evening so far. Lachlan Grant is undercooked, as you just saw in the championship, leading it. But no setup, no worries for Lachlan tonight in that VK Commodore. It's going to be interesting if he can overtake Dino's rapid pace here early on in the week, Christopher.
They say no setup, but these guys have been racing these cars all season, so they know how to set one up, probably without even taking to the track. So it'll be a simple click few through, maybe load up one of your more successful ones throughout the season and do a little bit of tweakage here and there. But what's Andrew Ferguson doing there? Just taking over the top spot there of McFadden. I don't know about that. I think that is a little bit cheeky there from Andrew Ferguson.
I think it is, actually. Yeah, I would say that that's sort of a bit ambitious.
A little bit.
A little bit ambitious, as the old Rabs does say himself. But he's just sort of snuck his way through, a cheeky man getting into the grid. But boy, oh boy, is it going to be on tonight. We've got 20 cars on the grid so far here for qualifying. 30 seconds left of that too. And the chat out there, good evening to you all in Simsational land. It's great to have you with us. We need your predictions in there for tonight. Who can take the chockies? Is it going to be Dean Hanley? Is it going to be Lachlan Grant? Are we going to see a smoky someone come through the grid and just take it? This man in the tinted Warrior Mobile. Tommy Cork's fantastic looking car. If it had no tinted windows and a rear wing on it, I would give it livery of the year, but that thing has got extension configs written all over it. He is a dark horse for this whole session as we get set for qualifying now, ladies and gentlemen. We're out and we're underway. And Jason McFadden is starting his little bit of an opening stanza here, Christopher.
Yeah, those cars just sort of stopped in the pit lane there, not too sure what's going on. And they're still just sort of filing through. I'm not too sure. There's a couple of cars maybe just waiting for the end of the light brigade procession to go out to find themselves a little bit of clear track, because with only 15 minutes up your sleeve, it's a fairly long street circuit too. So what is it, 15 turns or something like that. So the guys really need to sort out where they're going to be on circuit, and that is Sam Dooley getting out there at the very end. So taking advantage of that, and he will go around at the very back. But these guys on their outlap at the moment, warming up the tyres as they go under the overpass down there as well, coming up to the back end of the circuit and Sector 3. Jason McFadden out there in front. Lachlan Grant is your championship leader, and he is on screen right now. That beautiful looking VK Commodore. We saw him in the Gen 3 Aussie Sim Racing Championship, and I think he'll be back there tonight representing the STV, and he got a podium on his first time out. So really repping the shoes and showing them how it's all done over there.
Yeah, and is he in the Camaro? I can't remember if he's in the Camaro over there as well.
I think he's in the Mustang.
If he's in a Mustang, this guy doesn't care about the old 1-2 sort of style in terms of blue oval versus red, but he's going to go for a hot lap here. And I think, Christopher, you're going to take the honours here. Take us for a lap around this beautiful circuit with our championship leader, Lachlan Grant. He's about to start it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go around Canberra. On board with Lachlan Grant, courtesy of Christopher Michael Munro.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I've done half a lap around here, so we'll see how we go. Into turn 1. It's a tight little chicane. We're going to see action aplenty here as you see him just jumping off the curbs. Then it's like stick to the inside run and try and just balance the throttle there. Wow, big oversteer moment too as well. Into the right-hander now as well with the tyre bundles there. Very sticky on the inside. You don't want to mess with those things. They are the immovable objects. Then we go again, full oversteer and correcting from Lachlan Grant. This is a full commitment lap. It's right up to the right-hand side of the barriers there, and my stream is very much lagging, so it's very hard to commentate on this. But they go down the back straight here. It's not so straight because you get to a right-hander uphill and off camber, and just full oversteer in around every single corner here, down under the couple of bridges through the left-handers, and you'll be looking up towards, it's another right-hander coming up, 90-degreer. In fact, look at him all crossed up on the way in, across the curbs, as much liberty taken as possible there, according to the game's in-game limits there of where you could put your tyres. But now it's through the little uphill section here, a left-right chicane, crossing the tyre barriers. Careful not to hit those things because that will stop you in your tracks absolutely big time. And now it's a matter of getting the power down, and you've got time to maybe just have a little sip of your drink before you dive it in down through this another right-left chicane, and then on the gas through this long, winding, what would you call it, a parabolica style right-hander as they come around to the start-finish straight once more. Oh, almost collecting the outside wall, possibly did, but he will cross the line now for a 1:44.894 for Lachlan Grant.
Beautifully called there, Christopher. 4 tenths off the pace. Here's Lachlan Grant, but it's good enough provisionally for third place on the grid. The Birdman in the other VK Commodore has just put it to the top straight away is Lee Crowther. So he's on like Donkey Kong here tonight. He knows what to do, and that the carpet and flooring livery of his just stands out beautifully for the Birdman. But you can see the commitment. Look at all those cars go through. Lee Crowther's just on fire. He's trying to get this thing pointed in nicely, and he's done some green and micro sectors, but sector 1's about to come up to see if he's on a flyer as well. Let's see where this man is. Dean Handley. He's put a purple micro in, but his last lap of 45.393, a good second off the pace thereabouts. Not the way to start his opening stanza here. We've only got 10.5 minutes to go before the qualifying session ends, Chris. This man needs to get on a gallop if he's going to be anything other than the practice hero of the week.
Yeah, Lockie Grant currently half a second up as well, and purple in the first sector, so he is flying now, bouncing across the curves, and I think that'll just about give up that half a second and a little bit more. So back to the drawing board for Lachlan Grant. looking at the timing tower, it's Lee Crowder, the Birdman's gone purple in the second sector as well. Look at him go in that VK Commodore. He's coming up behind some traffic, but I don't think it's going to worry him. It's a little bit too far away to really shake up the tree there as the tree that he's sitting in the Birdman. But he is about a tenth up on his personal best here, so looking at maybe a 44.4 at the moment. It all just depends how he can navigate this final turn here, and it's looking pretty good. Hits the wall though. I don't know if that's going to help him at all. I think he's just given up the ghost. A 145.1 was the last time around, so he gave up about 6 tenths or 7 tenths just in that third sector.
Yeah, Dean Hanley just did not do any of that. Gone bang with a 43.788. That is a statement and a half there from Dean Hanley. 8 tenths quicker than the Birdman. In the Flying Falcon at the moment is the old Dino Hanley. So he's on like Donkey Kong here. McFadden's come up a few positions as well. So he's now trying to file his way through the grid here into 6th place. Banana Armour stuck himself up into 7th now with 9 minutes left in the session. These boys have got about 6 laps to do it in if they're going to get any further up the grid. The soft tyre compound, by the way, just so you can keep it in mind at home, ladies and gentlemen, lasts about 6 laps and they start to get a bit hairy there, and then you start to feel the pinch. So they've got 4 laps out of them that they can go at a time to improve their laps, with a bit of a lap traffic coming into way here for McFadden. That is Andrew Ferguson in front of him, I would presume, just holding him up, but he's done a beautiful job here as Chase. He's flying. He's got a green first sector. He's got a couple of purples in sector 2 there also, so he looks like he could be on here to improve for a 45.4 to make it something. But oh no, and smack into the barrier, and that was it for Jace. He knew he had it, and he shut the bed at the wrong time there, unfortunately for him, and that is dead set of Mazaire. Fergo is about to start his last little dash. He's got 4 corners to go here. A little flick to the right and to the left. Is he up at the moment, Christopher, on the timing tower?
He is not. He's just teetering on the edge of an improvement here as well. He's gone pretty poorly in the first sector, has gone green in the second, but I don't know if it'll be enough for him to claw back anything there. But I tell you what, Jason McFadden was up by over a second when he hit that barrier just before. So that's not ideal for the McFadden mount. But down here, James Bullock has turned up, the man who's right there in the championship fight too. So don't rule this guy out. He can be quick on his day. I'll tell you what, qualifying very important tonight because of this sort of street circuit layout. It's going to be very hard to overtake indeed with able to, well, we're trying to keep it clean, that is. Dean Hanley just gone quicker as well there, I think, at 43.7, has he?
Yep.
No, it's my timing tree. He has.
No,
there
he
you go.
Yeah.
He's turning the screws out in front there, the big handster. So he's going great guns. But behind him, the Birdman, not too far away, actually a second off him at the moment. So really, setting the pace is Dean Hanley tonight, and looking good for that pole position. They covered it. Pole position.
Don't you love a coveted position, Christopher? Just sitting on that front row. We both know what it feels like in the commentary department. And it's a beautiful place to be. And that's not by reverse grid, ladies and gentlemen. That's by merit anyway. But we'll keep blabbing on about other people on the track. Jason's going for another one here. So he's just come out of the pits after Osama bin Laden it into the wall. And he'll go for another crack. If he was a second up on his own time, he'll put himself basically in second place. So it could be a rang out Simblacks 1-2 here potentially with 6.5 minutes to go in qualifying. It's going to start to get a bit spicy. Not understeering into that corner too much, Chase, is what you don't need to do. You need to get it pointed over that curb and fire it out the other side and commit. That's what this track is about. Speaking of commitment, William Wallace is 100% on the block tonight. He knows he's got to get himself inside that top 10. I've heard Scotland at the moment, they're starting to bang on his doors a bit and going, mate, we've seen your performances as of late, and I know there's been glimpses, but we need better. And he'll be up there for sure with William Wallace tonight. He'll be fine. Don't you worry about that. This race tonight, or 2 of them, is going to be all about who can keep it out of the walls the most, and I reckon that's going to be a winner. But qualifying is where it sets you up for the beautiful races. Remo Grant, no spoiler, no worries for him. Backs inside the top 10, all crossed up Tokyo drifting. Beautiful entry, but it's not the fastest way, but it is the most glamorous around the Canberra circuit.
7 out of 10 for style, 3 out of 10 for pace. So he will have to go around again and probably, has wasted another minute 40 odd trying to do that. So back to the drawing board for Remo. Look at that thing, the Black Beauty XE Falcon there from Tommy Corks. He's racing on a controller from all reports. And he's got that thing hooked up as well and doing well in the championship. got a bit of real estate to himself as well. No cars in front. All clear track here for Tommy Cork, so he's got it all to lose here at the moment. Looking at his sector timings, he's up by a couple of tenths, mind you, so he's doing personal best things. We'll see what happens when he crosses that first sector timing. He's definitely up now by 2 tenths. So that will put him up to, well, still in 5th position. He needs to improve by another 2 tenths on top of that to clear Andrew Ferguson just in front of him.
Yeah, he does, but he's still managing this track really well. Like, I reckon a controller here would probably help because the steering inputs need to be so quick and so precise there. If he just jams the old right thumb pad to the left or the right, full angle, he'll just be correcting that thing in no time. So watch out for him later on in the racing. Is this man that we're on board with here, Tommy Corks, navigates that little chicane beautifully. A hairy place to go racing, nonetheless, at any stage through there, but Tommy Corks is doing nicely, and he's setting personal best sector 1 and 2. So he's on for an improvement, but will it bump him up into 4th place? We'll have to find out very shortly. Keep your eye out on that timing tower. Doc Elliott is setting the timing towers alight himself for his own personal best strategy, just sleeping and sliding his way through there. Another style points thing from Project Gotham Racing in the Xbox department. These guys would be getting about 4 billion points per lap, I reckon, and just drifting it left, right and centre. That's fantastic to watch. Doc Elliott, oh no, hit the tyre bundle there, just spun him out the other side too. They do hurt as well on the car department as well. How much is that going to hurt this man's time? Andre Elliott goes around the final corner, just navigating. Look at that throttle tracing, on, off, and then bang, out the other side. It's not going to be it isn't personal best for him, but 2 tenths only. Doesn't keep him anywhere further up, but he's only 0.04 of a second off taking Remo Grant 7th place.
Yeah, massive spread, actually, in the terms of the timing department from first to last here at the moment. Bill Kosmarikis just getting around for a 2-minute 26. So that's about 40 seconds slower. Slower than Dean Hanley there at the front. So, Bill, maybe a bit more practice during the week. He's slapping the wall there. Hopefully, he can keep that XE straight for the incoming races. But up there, Lachlan Grant has gone purple now in the first sector. So he is now hunting down and driving the wheels off that thing, sliding it each way and that. And that's what you got to do, ladies and gentlemen. You want to make up positions. It's got to be done here in qualifying. Similarly to how they go racing at Monaco, it's all about qualifying and who can get their car up as far as they can on the grid. It will just what do they call it? Amplify your chances of doing better in the race, because I tell you what, you would not want to be starting around the 10th position mark with so many cars in front and a lot of jostling for position, I'm sure, will be coming our way.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm sure that the walls will bite here. It's like Monaco, but in Australia. This joint is what we've been given the old vibes on. This man doesn't care about it. Banana Rama, we like to call him. He's 100% on tonight. He's in the top 6 at this stage, really putting that car where the sun does shine in his department, but for the others, he's given the old one finger hello as he walks past everyone, because 6th place at this track is a pearl up. It's going to be up for the brave, as we can see. These guys going left and right in the background. Another car, that was Captain Kirchhoff in the background there too. So all going for it, but Banana Rama's just looking so racy here. Ezra Simons is holding everyone up, and at this moment, and it's no surprise, because when you see how this man does go about it when he's on Banana Rama, he is one of the quickest drivers and one of the better defenders I've ever seen in the Assetto Corsa. Clean as a whistle 98% of the time. I love how he goes racing, and Ezra's just a cork in the bottle here already in qualifying. He's got Lachlan Grant behind him and the big Banana Rama himself, and he's just not getting out of the way. Come on, Ezra, get yourself out of there, champ.
Doesn't have to. If he's on a hot lap, he's got every right to go as fast as he can there, and the guys behind him just have to suck eggs and either try and get around, which isn't going to work anyway, because you're not going to improve your lap, or just get out of it, which is what Banana Rama has done there. He's going to maybe just fall back a little bit, give himself a couple of seconds up his sleeve so he can go again on the next lap, but he needs to get around fairly quickly because there's only 45 seconds to go in this one. Lachlan Grant should have done the same, because he's not on for an improvement now. He's given up the ghost because he's just been sitting there behind Ezra Simons. Was on for a big improvement, purple in the first sector, goes across the line now for a 1:44.8. So no improvement there, a 10th down. He was on for an absolute massive lap when he came up behind him. But now he's given up the ghost, and he's pretty much fluffed his lines here for his final lap around. So Grant will only do as good as third position. Down here in the Aussie colours, gold and green BP. Beautiful stuff. James Pedersen doing a pretty good job here, actually. He's got 144.8 up his sleeve as well. So not too far needed to improve. Honestly, a 10th would put him up onto the second row of the grid right now. And so he'll be trying to squeeze every little last minuscule of bit of time out of that BP machine.
He will be, and he's done a great job. Top 5 for him. I think that's up there with his best result in qualifying for the old Jombus Primbles, as he likes to call himself in the server. And he's doing really, really well here. So good on him for tonight. Jombus, yeah, I know. I don't know what that means. Remo Grange is handbraking it everywhere. He's out of it too. Banana Rama has set a little bit of a micro sector in the Sector 1. Sector 2 is about to end for him. This is his final lap of the night. We'll see what he can do. Look at the timing tower. Fergo at this stage hasn't crossed the start-finish line, but he doesn't give a rat's toss bag. He's handbraking it everywhere. Pedersen's doing the same, but Dino Hanley has taken out qualifying here. What's Jason McFadden going to do in the timing tower? We'll find out very shortly, but let's get a bloody good view of this man.
There it is.
That it is, the man. 43.734. Crowther only 2/10 behind him, though. So a bit of a little bit of a slim pickings here in the top 2. It could be on between Holden and Ford tonight in qualifying. Jason McFadden does cross the line and get into 8th. He just jumped the Remo Grant with a 45.378, only by 11 hundredths of a second over the 21 hundredths of a second, over the rest of him. And that is something to behold. Dino Hanley takes it. Let's go through the position before they exit the server. Hanley, Crowther, Grant and Ferguson take out the top 4. Pedersen, Corks, Banana Rama, Bryant's cousin, Grand and Andre Elliott round out the top 10, Christopher.
Beautiful stuff there with James Bullock in 11th. We've got Wallace, Simons, Bensley, Harrison, Dooley, Priest, Sadler, Willie Kirk, and Bill Kosmarikis didn't get around to finish his lap, so he will finish last. And Gray Ward was up there as well, so he finishes just in front of Bill.
He does, in fact, and we'll see if the big Greek god himself, Kosmarikis, does get involved into the next race, which is race 1 coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. A 20-minuter here at Simsational Esports. Big bangers, and it's a dead set sprint to the line here at the moment. Is this man on your screen going to take it? Is the Birdman going to be able to do something about it? We are going to find out very, very shortly indeed. So get yourselves strapped in around the idiot box, around the bar, whatever you do, get those condiments refilled, because Simsational TV is going to be back for race 1, 20-minute up. Who's going to take the chockies? After a few words from our sponsors, we will find out. Don't go anywhere.
SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office. SDT simulators are now in use across Australia and are expanding into international markets due to their affordable price, unique features, and customization for driver training. SDT Simulator Driver Training is a division of Safe Drive Training, one of Asia Pacific's leading driver training providers. We offer affordable driving simulators that are assembled in our Brisbane head office.
Welcome back, Revheads. It's time to go racing here, ladies and gentlemen. The first race of 2 about to kick off here. We've got 1:21 on the countdown clock. Who's going to be the leader down there into turn 1? Can Dean Hanley hold on to his pole position? Can the Birdman upset the apple cart and get up the inside? Can Lockie Grant have a little bit of a dip up there, and Andrew Ferguson, we know he will throw caution to the wind in that machine as well. So keep an eye out for him. Pedersen with his best start of the season up there in 5th position with Tommy Corks next to him. Behind them is Jason McFadden and Big Rem Grand, and he is rip-roaring and ready to go. Behind them, we've got Elliott and Bullock as well, starting off the 5th row, with Ward in 11th position with Hayden Wallace beside him, with Simons and Bensley taking up the next row behind them in the 7th row. Harrison and Dooley with Priest and Sadler. Will Kirk. Cook, the chef, has made it into the circuit as well at the very back. So we are about 24 seconds ready to go here, ladies and gentlemen. Get your predictions in. Who's going to lead into T1? Dovetailed with, will we get a clean lap one?
We don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll tell you what we do know is it's ready to go racing. The lights are up. Everyone's about to get those rev limiters bashing off the top of it. Dino Hanley's got a beautiful throttle trace there, sitting at about 70%. Can he get the jump? He is about to find out. No, he doesn't. Look at the jump there from the Birdman. Crowther has taken P1, ladies and gentlemen, just switched it off and gone bang off into the distance he goes. Let's have a look and see how they go around turn 1 indeed. They all just single file,
nice.
look, bumping nose to tail, and everyone's trying to get around. Bensley's turned around there. He will not be happy about that for sure. Goodness me, and look at him just sitting there. That is unfortunate for everyone involved, but that man out in front there doesn't give a rat's toss bag. There's Lee Crowther. He is 100% out there already. Dino's coming at him at a rate of knots too, so we're going to have to check out for him. He's quick on the opening laps. Here's Dino. That's his strength, and he knows what he can do. He can taste victory. Lachlan Grant, though, is really trying to put the anchors down. It's a huge gap. It's about 2 seconds between everyone bar these 4 front runners here at the moment. What's going on here in the background? McFadden, he's getting hounded by Remo Grant. He's getting really, really feisty here. Is Rem. He knows exactly how to go racing, but Brian's cousin is under all sorts, having no dividends this whole season for the big man. He's really, really struggling for some coin and dollars down there. What's happened to Rob Priest? He's been turned around there. Not the place for him to go. So is Steve Harrison too. He's just locked up and gone, wow, whoopsie daisy, I'm out of this one. So it's all happening here on the opening laps. Crowther is leading Dean Hanley by 0.4 of a second. That Carpets and Floorings car is looking very racy in the VKs. They round through that little chicane up to the back straight, and there's only 3 or 4 more corners to go to navigate to make it a clean lap 1 here for everyone inside the top 10, Chris.
Hasn't been able to gap them yet, but I'll tell you what, the top 4 have gapped the rest of the field. But Pedersen is just trying to time in now as well, so he's not too far behind the action. As you can see, riding on board now, dipping down through the right-left chicane. And we've got, I'll tell you what, it's battling up ahead as well with Grant right up behind Dean Hanley now as well, out of the final turn. He's going to be close enough to maybe have a dip here into turn 1. It'll be a feisty one, and it'll be a very risky one as well. But with overtakes at a high value here, it's going to be very hard to try and force that to happen in the top 4, top 10, whatever you want to do. There's well, no, McFadden's had a gutser here. He's maybe hit the wall, and he's going down the order as well. We've lost our sponsors board as well, but that'll come back up soon, ladies and gentlemen. The battling is on here. Look at this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars nose to tail here, folks. And I tell you what, McFadden looking pretty good to undo the mistake that he did to force himself into that position in the first place.
Yeah, fortunately for Canberra, it bites. And as I said, I reckon the cleanest is going to win this one. And Crowther's doing a great job of that. His gap, Dean Hanley, has got 0.8 of it on him now out in front. But this is the little gaggle of cars that we like to see here. It's the Bananarama at the front of this one. Then you got Remo Grant, McFadden on screen now, and go for it. Grey Ward's had an absolute mare. He's actually parked at his DNF'd. He's had enough. He's out of this one. So good night, Irene, for Grey Ward. He'll come back for race 2. But this is a little beautiful pack here that we like to see. In fact, it's closer here at the front. Dino Hanley is losing time to Crowther in front, and Lachlan Grant is pressing him. So it is full pressure point motors here for the big man in the middle of this sandwich. It's a Holden sandwich at the front of the grid, a Ford in the middle of it. Who's going to be there? Who's going to find out? We don't know, but it's looking very, very racy indeed. Oh, Dino just absolutely yeeting that arse end of his Falcon into the air, 2-wheel style, and he's just lost that 1/10 of a second that he crucially would hope. He's early on the brakes. Lachlan Grant's just trying to follow himself through that final corner, but you can see the slow in, fast out method come to fruition there. Dino Hanley's got that job done. Grant's got no answers for him here at this stage of the lap. This could be interesting through here too once those tyres start to die in the arse as well. Who's going to be the bravest? Who's going to come through and maybe take the chockies with a overshooting the brake marker sort of changing of hands? Could be on like Donkey Kong, but tell you what, it's all cracking on. Look at Andre Allard on the back here of Jason McFadden now too, Christopher.
Whoa.
They both slapped the wall. They both had a good old hit like Elvis, and I'm telling you now, this is not friendly fire at all. They don't care once they're on the racetrack, these boys in the Rangiart crew.
Yeah, exactly. It's all balls to the wall, or in this case, XEs into the wall. So hopefully there'll be no more of that because the damage is on, folks. It's at 75%. So too many hits on the side of any of these cars is going to force you into the pits to get some of that damage repaired in whatever fashion you deem necessary. But now it's just a train here behind Bananarama, who is on the slide on the way out too. He's got Remo Grant just having a look at him here, maybe just giving him up just a little bit there. 5/10 gap is the status quo here at the moment. But look at Banana just getting onto the racing line, using a bit of that curb as we saw earlier on in qualifying. Some of the drivers really just yeeting it over that curb. One in particular, Lachlan Grant, who we saw maybe just take a little bit too much of the cherry there and upset the car big time through there. But look at the cars just planted in the hands of Remo Grant. We've had a bit of a kerfuffle down here. It looks like Bullock's gotten past on Elliott, who may have come a bit of a gutser there into one of the chicanes and becoming friendly and acquainted with some of these tyre bundles that are really strategically placed around this circuit.
Yeah, they are. You can't, no encouraging of any track cuts at Canberra. The politicians are right there on it. I can give you the hot tip. But it did look like Andre had a bit of a misdemeanor. Maybe behind himself with McFadden, or it was just Bullock and him going at it. But nonetheless, it's on here at the front because Remo's just on prowl here at the moment. He's trying to go on McFadden as well in that VK Commodore. Oh, bit of door rubbing and paint trading there too. Out of the exit of turn 1, turn 2, they're navigating now side by side here. This is full Melbourne Cup style, and it looks like Rem's got the chockies. He's got the overlap. He does, but McFadden's trying to stick around the outside and be brave. There's Jason. Nice. Beautiful racing from those two. Just knew that there was nothing to be lost there at all, or won. So they just gave each other the dead set check, what do they call it, a stalemate, and thought, nah, we'll go for it the next time. But Rem has 100% looking very, very spicy in that VK Commodore at the moment on the back end of this Falcon. Really dicing it are these two. It's cracking racing. Remo's just on the prowl here. He is full on horny cat and on Saturday night style here is Rem, all over the back of that Falcon, ready to rip snort his way back into it. And I tell you what, these guys are getting close, and so is Ferguson and Grant as well up the front.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, whoa, look at that. Very close indeed. 2/10 the gap. We've just got word from Gray Ward in the chat too. His VR has shit the bed, and so he will not be taking part further until he can get that fixed up. So hopefully it works out for him as well. But look at this. Lockie Grant just opening up that gap just a little bit there. 3/10 now over. Oh, God, sorry, I got a fly just flew into my mouth. Look at that, a big slide there from Ferguson. And, oh, no, McFadden has done all the hard work to get back in front of Remo, and he's just given up the ghost and about 3 positions as well. Finds himself down there behind Willie Kirk, and now Simons and Remo's had a bit of a go. Oh, what has happened here? He's on his roof. Kirk is absolutely on the spaceship, and he's off, Captain, into space. Goodness me, that was a big one.
That was a huge one, ladies and gentlemen. He was right up there, was Captain too. He just took over McFadden and somehow ended up into the tyre bundle, upside down. See you later, alligator. And he is gone skis as Captain Kirk, the old Battleship Enterprise or Starship Galactica USS, or whatever they call it.
The Enterprise.
The Enterprise, yeah, that's the one. Yeah. He is full on imitated that Captain Kirk style, but these two are getting a little bit closer now. Pedersen has impressed us in qualifying, and he's definitely impressing here in the race. He's not a one-lap hero at the moment. Looks like those mediums are coming to fruition for him, and he's only 6 or 7 tenths away from Ferguson, who's sitting there in 4th, probably as happy as a dog with a tin dick is Fergo at the moment, considering he hates his track. Oh, there we go!
Oh, no.
So our commentator cursed him, and into the
Oh.
banner and barriers he goes. Tyres,
Big
you
hit.
name it. He's trying to put the thing in reverse, trying to get out. He's going to hit that bundle and also go upside down nearly. Oh, my goodness me, Fergo Meister. What are you doing, champ? But he gets out back out the other side, and he'll keep racing. Still manages to keep himself inside the top 10 after all that tomfoolery.
Big damage, surely.
That is incredible stuff there. In fact, goodness gracious me, a commentator cursed him for sure. And that is a dead set bastard of a thing to do for us here in the commentary box. He'll blame me for that one for sure. But, Doc Elliott here. He's the closest man to another car on the track at this stage. In 9th and 8th place between himself and Sandra's Lovechild. And it's looking pretty spicy here for Doc. Oh, no, that's nearly a tour into the barrier there too. I'd probably preempted that, but he just got away with it by the skin of his teeth. And he absolutely nearly DNF'd himself again. So we've had one rang out Simblack's car in the wall, flipping upside down. We've had another one in the barriers and the bundles. Now we could have had a third there for Doc Elliott. It's a trend between these Kiwis, but at the moment, it is still this guy out in front by a country mile. Lee Crowther really driving the tits off this VK Commodore tonight. Early on, we've got another one to go. Dean Hanley has not been able to catch him. The Birdman is just singing for the high heavens around here. He was doing really well, Chris.
Doing a great job out there as well. Look at that, Hanley and Grant just momentarily side by side, but a big slide from Grant just gave that position back to Hanley and any pressure that he had applied along with it. But this is still only halfway through this race, and we've seen a couple of casualties so far, and I think the tyres are just starting to give up the ghost just a little bit as well. So they're reducing in grip. Oh, we've seen it where Ferguson went off at the last lap. Lachlan Grant's done exactly the same thing, but manages to avoid the corner of that runoff area and get back out on the circuit. Has not lost a position, only about a second in the time stake. So really lucky to get out of that alive. And what's happening here? We've got Sam Dooley just getting out of the way, maybe of a blue flagger there, and two others just getting past him as well. That's Cook and Priest above him. But as I was saying, the war of attrition has just claimed Andre Elliott by the looks of it as well. He's slapping the wall again. How much can that XC Falcon take, folks, before it needs to go and get repaired? I reckon he might just have a little bit of steering damage, perhaps, because he's travelling not as fast as one would expect.
Oh no, Sandra's Lovechild's in the wall there as well.
No,
He's completely out into the barriers. He can't even get through it. He's just reversing his way back through the field. This is disaster for the big man. He gets through that gap in the tyre bundles, nearly takes that Remo Grant in the old grand scheme of things, pun intended there. But that is a very, very sorry looking front bonnet there for the big Sandra's Lovechild. Man, you can see it there. It's a little bit raised up, and I know what that means. That means damage. The old front bumper's been pushed up as well there, and it's not the ideal place for him to be. There'll be a bit of damage there, as you said, Christopher, as well for him too. Probably not steering, but geez, the old ego has definitely taken the biggest hit out of that one at the moment. Dino Hanley, though, has caught up to the Birdman now, so it's 0.8 of a second between himself and Lee Crowther. So just starting to do what Dean Hanley does the best, with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in the race. It starts to age like fine wine as a big man, gets into the rhythm and starts to get himself further up there. We've seen it multiple times, ladies and gentlemen, in every single race, and we keep banging on about it, but this is what this man does best. And Birdman is under all the sorts of pressure here because Hanley is coming at him at a rate of knots and doing it pretty consistently here. His last lap was his best, a 45.043. That was the best one, but Crowther's done a 44.7 as his best. I'm pretty sure it was 44.786 in fact. So the difference between their best and worst is about 0.5 of a second for these lead two, and Lachlan Grant still sitting in third.
Yeah, both of them pulling that fastest lap on their last time out. What's happened here? We've got a little car park between Simons and McFadden too. So the top 10, just you get yourself into the top 10, and that is the curse enough, because we've seen Bullock go around. We've seen Simons, McFadden, we've seen Elliott. We've seen who else is having a go down there in the old Kirk. Captain Kirk got launched around too. So the war of attrition is on well and truly. And we're only 13 minutes into this race weekend. We've still got a 45-minute race to come with a pit stop. So we're going to see if these guys can keep their concentration for just a little bit longer. Only 7 minutes to go in this race so far. Crowther has extended that gap again to 1.2 seconds, and that's about the same back to Lachlan Grant in third as well, and those three have kicked clear of James Pedersen there in fourth position, and a big gap to Tommy Corks in fifth. And then it's kind of big gap central all the way down until we get to these two here, who are separated by about 1 second. But plenty of damage in this mid pack as well, so we don't know how much aero, how much other sort of damage is being carried by some of these cars, and if it's affecting their pace at all.
Well, we don't know. We just don't know because as soon as the bonnet goes up on any of the cars, it's like basically a red arrow situation for the front. And around the street circuit, it doesn't really hamper you that much. We've seen it work at the Gold Coast 500 in real life too, where they seem to be able to navigate it even with half a front bumper hanging off it, unless you're Brody Kostecki in qualifying. But it doesn't matter because when you're racing around like this, all you need to worry about is just you keeping it between yourself and those blue concrete walls on the outside perimeter of the circuit, and you'll get yourself a really good position here. But it's on again. Dino Handley has got back to the front, and he's back there with Lee Crowther now, who just sees him every so hour and ever again. Does Dean Handley just splits that gap by about 7/10 between the two on the last lap. Fantastic stuff. You can see the way that these two drive coming into it. That is early braking there from Lee Crowther. Comes out the other side a bit quicker. Dino Handley a bit more aggressive. You can see them both feathering that throttle. Dino's just throttle tracing his way around. Into turns 3 and 4 we go. Out the other side, it's a little bit of a flick here. You've got to be brave here. Don't slap the wall like Dino did. Use that grass on the inside and flick it out the other side. And that's the difference between them. You can see it's now 0.8 of a second between these two cars on the racetrack. And the strengths and weaknesses are massive. You can see the difference there between Lee Crowther. He's underdriving it. Dino Handley's pushing that thing to the nth degree. It's understeering everywhere. If he calmed himself down a bit, he'd probably be a little bit closer to the Birdman every lap. But it's a massive slide and a rate of attrition there from Dino, just Tokyo drifting it away around this circuit, and it's still 0.7 of a second. So you can be brave and you can be aggressive. It still gives you time, but boy oh boy, if you want to be in P1, you got to do what the Birdman is doing here, just keeping it cool, calm and collected.
Yeah, exactly. I love, well, that's the best way to keep a car behind you, ladies and gentlemen watching at home, is not to overdrive it. Bring your braking markers forward a little bit and concentrate on exits, because you cannot be overtaken if you nail every exit on the course. They can try to stick it up the inside in some sort of late dive bomb maneuver, but you'll be there ready to do the switch back and get back on it. But then you also be there goes the big grandstand finish, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes to go, and Handley has slapped the wall. He's going to be vulnerable now to Lockie Grant, whose eyes have opened up now. This is big move in the championship too. These guys are battling it out, first and second position. You can see Lockie right up against the wall, a fanny hair in it. I'll tell you what, that was very close stuff. But now Handley has gathered himself up and pop the old head back on correctly, and they will go racing now for the remaining 3 minutes and 46 seconds.
Oh, it's just a rate of attrition here at Canberra. I'm telling you, it's who keeps it out of the barriers is going to be the winner, and it looks like Lee Crowther's just done that perfect example so far. Still 3.5 minutes to go, though. Anything could happen, and I'll tell you what, Lachlan Grant has just started to taste a bit of blood. He can get that meat right into him, and he's thinking about how he can take Dean Handley. You slapped the wall again there.
No.
Just understeered wide, but it's pirouetted himself out the other side. Fortunately for him, just a lucky glance on that side wall, and it hasn't done much damage to the big man's cars. But Lachlan Grant here, just look at the way that this car is driving at the moment. He's got a beautiful run out of that section around the back left-hand kink that we would like to call it. It's half a straight, but it's all left-hand down for the whole thing. There's the sliding, the oversteer, the commitment here from Lachlan Grant, the seesawing of the steering wheel, and the move under brakes. Oh, that is full ambitious there. Rides the inside curb, can't get the job done. Luckily, he had that without the tyre barrier there, as he was pirouetting himself straight into Dean Handley. That is the commitment it takes here, though, to get a move on. You just got to show the nose and put the other car in front of you under pressure, and Dino's feeling all of that. Nearly slapped the wall again on the outside here. It's nearly drug addict style at a nightclub on 2 a.m. Here with the wall slapping. And these guys are going nuts here, and it looks like Dino Handley's just starting to unravel a little bit. Is Lachlan Grant going to be able to put the pressure back on him and slide his VK Commodore through this racetrack? We will find out. That was incredible to watch the both of them do it, and it's full commitment style between these top packs here with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left to go. Anything can happen here, and it looks like something is brewing, Christopher. I don't know what, but it seems a bit spicy.
The grandstand finish coming in, but maybe a little bit risky there in my eyes with Lachlan Grant just sending it up the inside there. That could have ended in disaster for both drivers, or if not, just him. So I think he might just have to consolidate here and maybe just be happy with P3 for now, and then try to get the job done in the feature race, where more points are on offer as well, folks. So he'll drop a couple of points here to Dean Handley, but he will have the advantage of starting in front of Dean for the next race, because it is a top 10 reverse grid. Keep that in mind. So he'll be starting in P7. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of thing. I'm the old the Munro strategic wheels are turning. I'd be taking a very early pit stop here and getting that out of the way and going to the end on maybe a medium or hard tyre and just skipping the field while they do their mid-race pit stop. But we'll see what happens when that comes about, and we've got plenty of time to talk about strategy in the long race coming up. But 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in this one. Lee Crowther, as you can see in the background there, doing a great job so far at holding both of these racy little drivers at bay. And it might just be 50 seconds away from a P1 here for the Birdman.
He's about to round into that little chicane bit, so it'll be about 31 seconds, I reckon, by the time he gets to the start-finish line. So this is his penultimate lap right now, and he's going to be waving the white flag as that timer ticks down to 0, and he's led from start to finish as this man so far. We're not going to call it early, but he has done a great job and kept it out of the walls mostly, I would say. That we saw it decrease to about 4 or 5 tenths of a second between himself and Dean Handley, but Lee Crowther, the Birdman, has been flapping those wings at the moment. Absolute unbelievable style here. He's just got one more lap to go here with 20 seconds and counting left in this race. This will be the final one. The white flag will be out, and if nothing but a disaster happens to him, he will take out P1. It's getting a little bit closer in the background though, between a couple of drivers. We've got Banachek and Corks. They're rounding their final lap now. Now you can see the closing speed there of Banachek, just full confidence into turn 1, but it doesn't equate to a speed on the exit. And Ezra Simons found out that too hot is also a very, very big disadvantage, and he's just bumped himself back out. Simons, in fact, has been overtaken by William Wallace at this stage. Remo Grant and Doc Elliott still racing around with 5 tenths of a second to go, but the Chockies are all about this man here for the first blood of the evening. The 20-minute is going to go this man's way, Lee Crowther. He has driven the absolute tits off this VK, really, really driving to the expert level that he would hope to be achieving more and more consistently in the future. He's had his ups and downs, ladies and gentlemen. He's had trials, he's had tribulations, but he's also had a very, very close situation to taking a couple of wins as well, and has been taken to death from him. But doesn't look like it's going to happen here tonight. 1.5 seconds to that man on your screen right now, on board with him, Lee Crowther. He will ride on with him until the end of this lap. Just got to navigate this very tricky right to left. Gets out the other side beautifully. This is going to take an absolute miracle for him to bin it here on the final lap in the final 2 corners of the Canberra Street Circuit. But it is going to be Holden, ladies and gentlemen, to take the first blood here, red style, and it's going to be won by this man on your screen. Lee Crowther takes the Chockies. P1 for him. Lovely, lovely job. 1.2 seconds in the end to the man behind him, Dean Handley, there in second place. And Lachlan Grant is going to take third place with Pedersen fourth. Tommy Corks a long way behind, but also under threat here from Bananarama. 3 tenths of a second between them, but that's going to be separated by that at the end of it. He's going to take 5th place. Banachek's going to take 6th. Fergo around in the final corner here, just trying to practice his drifting and entry into turn 1 for 7th. Doc Elliott in 8th place, only by 4 tenths of a second though, looking like it here between himself and Remo Grant, who will take a top 10 any day of the week, will Rem. And then the final man on the grid for the top 10 reverse grid is going to start off pole. Here's this man, Cedra's love child, gets it across the line here beautifully and takes P10.
Beautiful driving from all out there today. It was fairly clean as well. A couple of little hiccups here and there, and mostly just self-inflicted injuries for the most part. So very good stuff considering how tight this little circuit is. But James Bullock will start on pole for the next one with Hayden Wallace down there in 12th position. We got Simons, Cook, Dooley, Priest, Bensley, Sadler, Harrison, Kirk, and Bill, the 10K man. Cosmorikas parked in the pits already. Round out your field for race 1 here in the sprint. It's a top 10 reverse grid coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. And that is going to, I'll tell you what, a reverse grid around here. This is going to be a little bit more action-packed, I believe, than the first race. But hopefully the drivers can keep their heads on and know that there's no reason to force the overtake. Just take an early pit stop, guys. That's where you're going to do it. I'll tell you what, if anyone's listening at home, do that. I wouldn't be trying to get through a reverse grid around here because it's not going to end well for anyone. We're going to find out if these guys can keep their heads and their wits about them in the 45-minute race coming up. Zach, right?
We will, ladies and gentlemen, indeed, and it's going to be interesting. The big man himself, Lee Crowther, won that one. He's going to take it by a country mile there over Dean Hanley. But this man, James Bullock, is going to take your way to the final race in pole. And he's going to be there in style. So go get yourself refilled in the condiment department. Go and take a toilet break. Do whatever you want to do, because Simsational TV will be back very, very shortly here for the final race. 45 minutes are coming your way. The big bangers here at Canberra Street Circuit. Don't you go anywhere.
Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive distributor of Fatal Vision alcohol impairment goggles, marijuana simulation goggles, and drowsy and distracted blinking goggles. All are used to demonstrate the dangers of such impairments on the driver. Also available are driver training posters, driving handbooks, and distracted driving resources. Our simulators make the perfect training tool for drivers to experience how various impairments affect their performance. Depending on the simulator model being purchased, you will receive a range of training resources to help you to facilitate quality driver education. SDT is the exclusive marijuana simulation goggles and drowsy and distracted.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on like Donkey Kong here for a start in the Big Bangers. It is a 45-minute race coming your way, and it's the final dance of the evening tonight. These boys are going to be ready and rip-snorting to go, and what better place to start with this man on the grid. In P1, he finished 10th in the last one, but it is going to be a pole position and a perfect opportunity to maybe keep himself in that position, being a hard place for the Canberra Street Circuit to pass on. Here's James Bullock, so good luck to him. Also, good luck to Remo Grund as well in second place. We've got Doc Elliott in third, Fergo in fourth, Banachek in fifth with Corks, Peterson, Grant, Dino Hanley, second place getter, and our winner of race one there in P10 himself is going to take the chockies here, Chris.
Yeah, he's going to have a tough time getting through here. Certainly some speedy customers in front of him too, and this circuit is unforgiving at the best of times. So there's going to be a very big pace discrepancy there. We'll see a few differing tyre strategies as well. Andre Elliott starting on the soft. We've got James Pedersen starting on the hard, with the other guys starting in mediums. We've got Grant and Hanley both on the soft. Lee Crowther on the mediums as well. The lights are up, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about ready for a start here in race 2 for the feature race of the evening. Hold on to your hats. Hold on to your armchairs, because this could get spicy. Let's go racing, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great start there by Remo Grant, and a bit of wheel spin there from Bullock. He's going to be vulnerable to Andre Elliott as well, as now they dance down into the first chicane. This is going to be where they sort each other out, doing exactly the same thing as they did last time, but getting through a little bit more cleanly as well. But Remo Grant will take the whole shot here in race 2. Bullock sits behind him by about a second and a half, and then the rest of the field streaming through, and beautiful vision there as they come through, dancing around. Too wide there is, I think that's Ezzy Simons and Wallace there going side by side. Oh no, it's Crowther and Hanley. No, Crowther, the Birdman's come a gutser, and I knew it would happen here. It's a hard thing to do, and he's travelling very, very slowly indeed. I think maybe an engine failure or something. This could be terminal for the race 1 winner. I think he's out of this one, Zacco.
He's not even got any inputs here. He's full crashed out. I reckon that is disaster for the big man. Unfortunately, a race 1 winner is out of this one early, but it's all on like Donkey Kong, because we've got a few quick drivers who have made their way through the field here, and Tommy Corks, he's got himself up there. Fergo's got himself back into 4th place as well. This is incredible. Look at Grant up the inside here. He's having a good old tussle here with the big man himself, Pedersen. Side by side they go. Now it's going to be who's going to blink first, because you don't want to be too wide into this next section. It's a tyre bundle, only wide for one car. So they both single file their way through beautifully at this stage. Looking very, very racy at the moment. Dean Hanley is now behind Lachlan Grant, and he's looking pretty racy himself. He's got half a run. Will he think about it? No, you just think about it once more time. Put the anchors on. Get it through this next tyre bundle section here. The tyres of death coming their way here tonight. It's Remo Grant who is taking this race automatically off Sandra's Lovechild in first place by 1.5 seconds there. Great stuff from him. Pedersen has kept Lachlan Grant at bay so far too, which is really, really good driving from that man in the Aussie green and gold BP machine. Really loving its way. But I'll tell you what, Dean Hanley is desperate. He is full desperate, like a 30-year-old who's never been in a relationship before, to get one up and under himself, and he just needs to get himself back in front of Lachlan Grant here, because you can see that championship point battle starting to skip back his way with more points on offer here in race 2. He's got to be up there and be in front of that man in front of him in that Mobil 1 Holden.
Only 13 points separate these two drivers in the championship as of right now, with race 1 added to that collection. So Lachlan Grant leads, and then 13 points behind is Dean Hanley. So it's all about how they handled this next 2 rounds. And I mean, one race to go in this one. It's all up for grabs as well, because anything can happen here from here on out. He's still got, 7 cars to overtake if he wants to win this race. It's a very tall order indeed, but it's battle stations up ahead. Corks on the on the slide there as well, up behind Banachek. And here goes Lachlan Grant, a dip a second time at this very same spot on the track. Gets the job done this time on James Pedersen, who gave him a wide berth. I think he knew that the writing was on the wall and that move was coming again. He's pretty quick through that part of the track, is Lachlan Grant. So now it's Dean Hanley's turn to maybe watch and learn and see if he could make that move stick the next time around.
Yeah, Dean Hanley starting on the softs, which is a little bit of a place he doesn't want to be right now. I would alter that strategy, considering you are down in 9th place, nowhere near the race win, and just bolt a set of hards on and go for it at the end. Get out of this traffic nonsense and let them all battle for it, because Grant is also on the soft too, but a good 200 metres up the road already, and he's fighting the back here of Tommy Corks. So Corks can see him coming. He's gone on to defensive move early. Cracking little battle stanza here opening up. Grant's going to just lift off the brakes now. Oh, does in fact, and he gets a hit from behind from Pedersen too, who just checked himself up there. And Hanley's going to have another crack at him too. So they're going to go hammer and tong here, 2x2 trailer park girl style at some stage around a corner. But it is incredible. A check up from 2 cars has just related in a more gap in front. More gap. Goodness me, how's my English? A bigger gap in front of Dean Hanley to his man in front of him in the championship, with this being the penultimate round. Grant is just skipping away and loving life, because he knows he's got Tommy Corks in front of him, who is also going to be back up soon into the realms of Banachek. And then in front of him, Fergo and Elliott and Bullock are all within 5 or 6 tenths of each other. This is turning out to be an absolute barnstormer opening stanza.
Yeah, absolutely. If William Shakespeare could commentate on a motor race, we'd call him Zach O'Reilly. But in any case, it's back to the racing here, because I think we're going to see that Lachlan Grant's going to have his hands full here. Tommy Corks is not going to give that position away as easily as James Pedersen did the lap previous. So we'll see this little battle pack start to back up, I think, behind Tommy Corks. And also he's got Banachek in front of him, who probably doesn't want to give up that position either. So this will be a nice big battle train going about 7 or 8 cars deep all the way around here for the foreseeable future. But look at Dean Hanley now, right up the back here, and almost side by side they are. They are side by side, door to door here, going into the final couple of turns here through these little chicane. And Dean Hanley slides on through and goes up into P8. That's a nice little move there, set up on the exit of the previous corner, which is how you go racing, ladies and gentlemen.
That is exactly how you go racing. And speaking of which, no more of a less racier man is this guy, Andrew Ferguson. He can smell a podium there, and in fact, he just punted old Doc Elliott around into the bunda and out the other side there. Does he survive? Thank goodness for Doc's sake and Fergo's sake, because it would have been a redress on. But boy, oh boy, is he racing hammer and tong. We know what happens in a Ferguson household after a podium comes his way, Chris. It is partying on until Thursday next week. And if he can get this this one here tonight. The Big Bangers, after hating this circuit, he's giving all the curry he needs to. He can smell it, he can taste it, he can feel it, but he's just got that car in front of him to navigate. He's really, really wide there, but tried to get the exit, couldn't get the power down early enough as he rode that inside curb. Now onto a little dip to the right here as well. Who can take the curb, who avoids it? It's a quicker way around by avoiding that curb, Fergo. If you're listening in, don't touch it, mate. Doc Elliott just showed you exactly that, but it's on here because I tell you what, we just missed it. Grant and Corks have come together, and it is advantage to Lachlan Grant. Dino Hanley can see that coming too now, so he's got a bit to think about here. Is he going to go for the switchback move up the inside? No, he's not. But Corks is all on the slide and outbraked himself. See you later, Alligator. Dean Hanley's going to take that position. Psyched out Tommy from that one, and that is a positional advantage into 7th with his battleship partner in front of him in the championship, Lachlan Grant, right there with him. This is going to be incredible stuff here. The 2 championship leaders in 6th and 7th are clawing their way through the field, and who's going to take it? We don't know here, and who's going to take it out of this one?
It'd be slightly frustrating to see for Lachlan Grant every time he gets past one of his competitors he sees in the rearview mirror. Dean Hanley do exactly the same thing. So we'll get those guys racing again. But up ahead, it is Ferguson and Elliott going hard at the moment, looking out the back of Andre Elliott's car. He's on the soft tyre, folks. And we've seen in previous races and qualifying, it probably lasts around 8 laps, I think, from the comments from the Super Coach. So I think Elliott will start to feel the burn on those tyres soon enough. And Andrew Ferguson starting on the medium tyre. I think that's the correct choice here tonight, folks. And he will be able to just try and pick his way through. Not if he keeps doing that, mind you. Just hitting the wall there on the exit of that turn. You can't be doing that too many times, especially in this long race too, because it will compound to some injuries there. Oh, a little tap as well, right on the slide. Nice little slip angle out of there, but even better was Andre Elliott's exit as well as they go down into the right-hander this time. And look at this, James Pedersen now lining up on Tommy Corks and does have the run, does have the inside line, and he will get that job done very nicely. But look at Corks hanging it fat around the outside. He says, you're going to have to work a little bit harder than that, BP. You've got the unleaded in, I've got the old E85, and I'm off down the road.
The old big penis racing there, trying to get himself up into it. In fact, that pass we just saw in the foreground about to be set up has happened. Banachek has been done by Lachlan Grant. So Grant up into 5th place. Dino Hanley is coming at a rate of knots. You can see him right there too. So he's full on trying to get another position right onto the back end of Lachlan Grant really quickly is Dino Hanley. This is the view from Banachek's onboard. We can see how they go racing. Look at Dino under brakes. That's too wide there. That's going to be a 1.5, and he's punted Banachek into the wall, and Banachek's come out the other side. Dean Hanley's going to have to redress that, and he does, and he's lost 1 position, 2 positions. He's going to lose 3 or 4 positions with that over-ambitious move. And look at Banachek's trying to struggle here and fight off McFadden, who's coming out of rate of knots here too on him. Oh boy, Dino, that's just not the move you need to make. Corks has not got past him, so a little bit of a breath of sigh of relief there, so to speak. But boy, oh boy, big implications there. McFadden and Banachek have got past Dean Hanley. Grant is now 3 positions up the road in front of him, and he's 100% got to get the gallop on. Lachlan Grant will be breathing a sigh of relief here. And Andre Elliott and Sandra's Lovechild now are coming closer too. Soft versus medium. Who's going to win this one? The time is ticking on the tyre compound timing slots here because those soft tyres are about to start dying in the arse.
Yeah, Ty Delta's starting to cross over with a big slide there from Bullock. That's going to invite Andre Elliott to maybe try something here into the right-hander, but he just slots it into the wall as well, trying to use every little bit of the track and a little bit more on the exit too. He's whacking that thing like it's a game of whack-a-mole here at the moment. You can't keep doing that because Ferguson is right there underneath his rear wing. Only 3/10 the difference too. But just going to have to force his way through at some point around once these tyres just start to get a little bit too hot under the collar there for Andre Elliott. Or perhaps an early pit stop to chuck a medium set on and see how far they can actually go around this circuit. It's not a super... I don't think it's really bad on your tyres because it's not really... You're not really leaning on them too much. It's a very stop-start kind of circuit, so you probably get a little bit more life than you normally would around a regular circuit that we've been racing on lately. Maybe not colder, but certainly Sydney Motorsport Park, Eastern Creek, other things like that. But we'll see what happens in the pit stop window. I guess we're coming up to that with the guys on the softs probably thinking about maybe making a pit stop. Bill Cosmarigas down here, though, that car has seen better days, as Pete Murray would say. That is absolutely shag, that XE Falcon. Goodness gracious me. But Bill, just sticking it fat and riding the walls Rob Chastain style.
Seen better days on my face and my head. I don't even know if that's the lyrics or not, but
I think it is. Yeah.
I was
Seen
getting there.
better days.
Yeah, something like that. We got old Pete Murray style,
shout
but
out.
he's hounding the back end. He doesn't really care at the moment. What we say about him is Bill Cosmo. He's just trying to get himself further into that top 15 he possibly can. He's giving Joshy Sadler a good old hurry up here. Josh has gone way too wide there, slaps the wall on the outside, and Bill's got the easiest overtake of his life. Happy days. We'll be stoked that we caught that one on camera. Bill Cosmo gets up into 14th place. Sam Bensley's in the background there too as well, having a good old tussle. You can see Joshy just struggling a little bit there too. One of our naming rights sponsors here on the circuit as well, if you don't mind. Mr. ARD importing himself. Get yourself in with any sort of Zamp products, you name it, he's going to be there, and he will be giving you deals left, right and centre. He's got bundle deals, he's got everything going for it, and he's even got slides going for it here at the moment. Not in the PowerPoint presentation style, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking sliding on the racetrack with Sam Bensley. Just managed to pull it out of the hat there. Goodness gracious me, in the fair dinkum department. We're going to have to go back to this one because at the moment it is all like Donkey Kong here. Hanley has got past Pedersen again, and Corks and Hanley trying to hound this big man in the big penis machine. He's going for a move here too. He's got the better run out of that chicane, and it's side by side again, just like we saw Dean Hanley doing him 4 laps ago. But he's got the chockies over him, this Jim Bob, and he's absolutely put it straight up the inside. Thank you very much, mother, for the rabbits. However, Banachek and Grant have traded places again. Cracking driving here from the guys. You wouldn't think he would be able to do it. Banachek is a little bit wide, but he maintains that 5th position here, and Lachlan Grant is struggling a little bit. So is Dean Hanley. The 2 championship compatriots have got it all up there for the collar here to make a P1 or something at least, because Remo Grant has driven the tits off that thing out in front. He's still racing around in the Speed Nation. No spoiler, no worries. VK Commodore. Sandra's Lovechild's there behind him. Andre Elliott's not too far away, and even closer behind him is Andrew Ferguson. This is going to be a spicy little 4-way coming our way, Christopher.
Yeah, it is. Look at that. Fergo just flying through that little section as well. Dr. Dre in front will not be forgotten about. But I'll tell you what, Ferguson wants to see him in the rearview mirror because he's been staring at the back of that thing for quite some time now. We've got our first of the pit stoppers as well. We've got Dean Hanley into the pits. And who else was in there? Tommy Corks came in for a quick pit stop as well. I think Hanley's getting some damage repaired there as well because Corks came in at the same time and he's already off and gone. So interesting there. Maybe a big mistake on the way in. So that's a disaster there from Hanley all the way down in 16th position now. And the man he went into the pits with is up there in 12th.
Oh, yeah, disaster there for the big man. He's way down there, 16th, as we said, and not the place to be if you're a potential race winner. He had it all for himself tonight. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board here at the moment. Hopefully his better half in the Hanley household is not watching tonight because it's a disaster here for Dean Hanley so far. But we'll see where he comes. So we've got a lot of racing to go. 31 minutes left and change left in this race. And it's still on like Donkey Kong up here for the final place on the podium. Fergo can smell it. He can taste it. He's just like a gynecologist and a pizza delivery driver. That's the only difference. You can never go for it, but he's going for it. He's trying left and right. He's going for it up the inside. He's going to go 2x2 into turn 1. Boy, oh boy, that's not on. Surely, they contact each other. Into the bunda goes Fergo. Doc Elliott's going to fight it back around the outside here. He's trying left and right everywhere. Elliott and him are trading places like sheep stations here, and Doc Elliott's come out the worst. Fergo's muscled his way through. Hung it fat there to Doc Elliott, though. Cracking little try for him. But Fergo up into 3rd place. Thursday until the next working date at Fergo's house for the moment is on with a P3.
Yeah, nothing nefarious there. Good hard racing and a little bit of hip and shoulder, but that is par for that turn exactly. But I reckon that's play on, ladies and gentlemen. Fergo up into P3 and looking good now. He will be able to take the shackles off that number 20 machine and try and chase down James Bullock in front. They're both on the same tyre compound, so expect maybe it's time for Elliott to maybe wave the white flag and jump into the pits as well and strap on a new set of mediums and go to the end. It's only 29 minutes to go, and I think the guys at the front, at least Hanley, has come out on the mediums. He's battling hard with Simons here at the moment as well, or are they doing some sort of timing tower rubbish? It was. But that's okay. We see he's out there on the new set of mediums, so we're going to see after a couple of laps what sort of pace. It's raining bloody grass out of the sky there in Canberra. I've seen weirder things come out of Parliament House. Don't you worry about that. We've got,
Definitely.
we've got grass from the sky. We've got Kim Beasley running a cheese-powered economy down there at one point in the past. Shout out to Sly Fox Racing. If you are in the comments, you'll like that reference indeed. But tell you what, Remo now takes over the lead. He's got Bullock behind him. Fergo and P3. They're your top three, ladies and gentlemen, with about 2/3 of this race to go.
Yeah, cracking little stanza here from Remo Grant. He can taste victory. He knows he's got the pace at the moment over Sandra's love child. So really, really cool to see. And our championship leader has come into the pits for his pit stop. So a lap and a half later than what Dino Hanley does. Whereas Dino on the screen is rounding through the second of the final chicanes here at this circuit of Canberra. So we'll see where Lachlan Grant is going to be. He's still moving, and in fact he's just started moving now. So there's a massive balls up there from Dean Hanley. He was right there with him. Dino is still in that final chicane sort of section, so he's about a kilometre away from Lachlan Grant, and they're not going at the same pace, I'll tell you what. But it could be a situation where the XC might hold on a little bit better in the tyre department versus the Commodore. We don't know, but we do know is it's party on in the Fergo household here. Unbelievable driving here from Andrew Ferguson. Hates the circuit. Comes to love it here if he gets a third place, and it's looking pretty spicy because he's getting right up the arse end here of Sandra's love child. You can see the car behaviour from the both of them. Mustard and Holmes livery is one of my favourites on the grid so far. Don't you worry about that. But Fergo doesn't give a rat's because he can even see P1 up in front of him now. With Remo Grant just sitting there and going for it. These two Falcons are full sideways. Cleaner steering, understeering, oversteering, you name it. They're all on, and Remo Grant can taste a victory, but he's still got 27 minutes to do it in.
Yeah, you better hurry up and chew that victory up and spit it out and get it over and done with, because I tell you what, Fergo is on the charge here. He's just set a purple second sector, so fastest of the race. And he doesn't need any more encouragement. He's got Bullock there in front, and he's closed in that gap like absolutely nothing here at the moment. He will be under attack within this lap. You'll see him now right up under the rear wing. Geez, he's flying at this stage of the race, is Ferguson. Where is he going to make the move, though? Is he going to try and do it up at that right-hand turn? I think it's at turn 9 or 10, where we've seen a couple of moves made already. Whoa, Fergo. Big sideways moment, but has the momentum and has managed to get the traction down as well. But you look at that, you can see now, Bullock just going half defensive there as well, cutting that little alleyway off for Ferguson. By the time he got there, the door was shut. There was nowhere to go. Bullock just driving in his mirrors here at the moment. And that's probably the best thing for Remo at the moment, because that'll just let the pressure valve off him, and he can maybe eke out a little bit more of a gap before it comes to pit stop time.
Yeah, it's looking very close to it. 10 laps in, and we're over halfway, so they're going to get about 18 odd laps around this circuit. So a little bit of a gamesmanship to be thinking of what tyre to go on, whether you go on that soft compound and wait till the arse end. There's Sam Dooley getting right out of the way of this lead pack coming through, because Grand has started to fall off the pace. So we're going to see who's going to pit first, who's going to blink first out of them. The top three are all on medium tyres, and that's a big send into the wall there for Remo. So he's lost all that momentum. Here comes Sandra's love child. Can he get the job done up the inside? No, he thinks about it again. This is the time for Remo to come into the pits and do the undercut on the rest of them behind. They're coming at a rate of knots. You can see how slow they're travelling through that chicane and out the other side. It is on like Donkey Kong. The chef in the background and Lachlan Grant have traded positions as well. Who's going to dive into the pits out of any of these three? Is it going to be one? Is it going to be none? Is it going to be 2 out of 3? Fergo's about to put it in. No, he's not. He's going to go around one more time. Unfortunately, they're just following each other now, and they're eating up their own lead, because Doc Elliott is going to be coming on those soft compound tyres, but Fergo is getting held up by Bullock in the meantime.
Yeah, exactly. If Fergo jumped in the pits there, by the time he came out, he would have been 2 seconds in front of this lot. But he manages to get the overtake done there as well. That it needed to happen. Otherwise, that would have negated any sort of pit stop happening later on. So that's good news for Fergo, and it's still raining grass there down at turn 7. Incredible stuff here at Canberra. I've seen it all happen in my lifetime, but you never know. There's still new things to be learnt. But look at Fergo just hanging out fat, got the arse end waggling like a dog. And poor old Sam Bensley's come a gutser here down the pack, and Simons and Rob Priest are going to go side by side here. They're racing for position, but it looks like Simons has the advantage now. Dives down into the left-hand chicane here up the hill. Oh, just outbreaks himself a little bit now. Will be vulnerable for the Priest to whip out the old holy water and try and dose the Speed Nation car in front of him. Not going to happen this time, but having a little dip up the inside, showing the nose, keeping himself in the mirrors of Simons in front, and maybe hoping for another little mistake again to take advantage of.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'll tell you what, Fergo is coming back at him. Sandra's Lovechild here is in third place, but Fergo has got 9/10 of a second. We still have not seen this lead pack come through and take a dive for it. 23 minutes. I'll be thinking about it, but they've got to do the maths on how many soft compound laps they do have left on these tyres before they start to die off in the arse. And I will be coming in again, but Fergo does not. He goes around again, and those things are sliding. They're as hot as a dodgy Vinda loop. I'm telling you, those rear tyres on Fergo's car, he doesn't care though. He's just going right to the left hand of the circuit, right to the right, and oversteering, nearly understeering off as well at the same time into turn one. Took out the rear bumper of Remo Grants by a whisker there and survived it once again, but he is full aggressive. Is this man? He is on. The angry Scotsman himself. He's going absolutely hammer and tong. We love seeing this car behaviour. He is full steering it left, right, upside down, you name it. What more do you want? And ball tapping it every single lap at that same spot. The car damage indicator will be red as raw at the moment. I'm telling you, boy oh boy, look at that. Slaps it off the wall again, comes out the other side and still manages to keep within 8/10 of a second. Goodness gracious me, Fergo, just using the old the Chastain style advantage here to keep himself within the race. I can't believe this at the moment, but it's still on. And it's on down the field again. McFadden is coming up on Banachek. A good showing here from Jason. Once again, he's coming to a fine wine status here and aging beautifully. Bananarama is just being cautious, being nice and easy on the car, just not overdriving it. But McFadden doesn't care. He thinks he's got a P6 in front of P5, in fact, in front of him. P6 is secured, but he's going to go try and send around the outside. Banachek's really late on the brakes, but there goes Brian's cousin up the inside. Cuts the chicane again for advantage. That's track limits to gaining an advantage there. And look at Pedersen coming a rate of knots here too. He's coming for it. He's got McFadden there done all by the shouting. No, too wide into here is not going to work. Pedersen had to get on the anchors, slaps the wall again. Unfortunately for him, just couldn't do anything but avoid Jason coming through aggressively there, and he's lost that position. Joshy Sadler's come into the pits also. Oh boy, Pedersen, who can be in the top 5 here. He's just got to get himself back on the gallop and get Banachek and McFadden all in front of him. 2 top 5s here for him. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah, certainly. And could be a top 4, really, if he can get past these 2 guys. But now Ferguson has closed the gap back right up to Remo Grand there, who's just very tardy through that little section. This is going to give Ferguson a bit of a run here out of this left-hand turn. It's a long radius one, and you've got to be real patient on the throttle. And both of those guys doing that nicely. But yeah, Remo just taking a shallow line there. I think he's very vulnerable coming out of this next one here if he can manage to get the power down. Fergo, he does, slaps the wall again. Ted said he's playing a bit of pinball out there tonight, but it's a fine line you race out there in these kind of conditions. One more of those and it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back in terms of terminal injuries to that car, and you will not have the pace to be able to make that P1 happen. But down here, look at this. Big mistake there from McFadden. That'll open up the door for Pedersen. They draw alongside now, side by side. The next one's a right-hander, so he will have the inside run. Slides up the inside, easy as you like. P4 for Pedersen. Thank you very much.
Beautiful driving from both of them. They're courteous, kind, and knew where the race was, and that is exactly what the big penis mobile did. It got right up the inside there, slid himself, gave a couple of pumps as well, and said, I'm in, and I'm out, and I'm gone. See you later. Closes the door on his way out into P4 does James Pedersen. Beautiful, beautiful driving from him as well, but still got to keep an eye on this little battle pack at the lead of the race. This is all for the chockies, ladies and gentlemen, with 20 minutes and change left to go here. Fergo's got up the inside. No way, he's punted. Poor old Remo Grant, he knew he did it, and he's just given up the ghost there again. A fair bit of insurance between himself and Banachek, though, with 11 seconds between those two. Now it's time to come into the pits, boys. Goodness me, in the fair dinkum department. Someone blink. No, they don't. No one does. Remo is just sliding this thing everywhere. Fergo's aggressive as anything. He doesn't care. He can see a race win in front of him, and Remo is just holding on for dear life here for his own win. But geez, that's shallow into turn one. That's going to hurt him. Here comes Fergo. Can he slap the throttle on and get that traction down up the inside? I think he can here. Look at them two go 2 by 2. Look at this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Remo's going to hold on again. Fergo is just hounding him left, right, and centre. That car has now got the headlights pumping off the front bumper as well. In Fergo's apartment, he's hit the wall 50,000 times right at this location. Doesn't at this stage. Finally, we got a lap without Fergo slapping it outside wall at turn 5. But goodness me. Oh, Remo into the wall too.
That's a big
Slaps it in. That's a huge hit. Has he got any steering damage? He slapped it again. So is Fergo behind him. How is that? It is a little bit left hand down, I would say, but Fergo's coming back at him here. Trying to overtake again. Up the inside goes Fergo. Very aggressive, but very advantageous. Beautiful move there for Fergo to take P1.
Yeah, that's beautiful stuff there. Took advantage of the big mistake there that Remo did. But I'll tell you what, it's right there, smack bang in the middle of pit stop season for these two blokes. So probably one or both of them. Oh no, Remo's just pinned him coming into the right-hander. Luckily managed to hold on to it, did Ferguson, and he will drive on. I think it's time for Remo to jump into the pits now because those tyres will be cooked. The car will be certainly asking for a bit of a break after that little battle. And Ferguson, now with clear air ahead, probably can extend his stint and go till pretty much the fuel runs out in that thing, come out, short little splash, chuck a new set of softs on and go to the end.
Yeah, I reckon that's the way to go, but who's going to blink? We don't know. They don't listen to us. They just drive the things, and I can tell you, they're going hammer and tong. Fergo has now got an opportunity to come into the pits. He doesn't take it. Remo Grant, however, is beautiful stuff here for the undercut for Rem. Is that too quick into the pits? I think that looked a little bit fast for my liking for Rem. It hasn't shown up red on him at the moment. What's happened to Sandra Bullock's love child? Oh, he's just come off again at that chicane. It's absolutely been his absolute Achilles heel tonight, losing it. McFadden's in the pits as well. Remo Grant's in the pits. Ferguson is leading this race, and now he has got a 9-second buffer with all that battling between himself and the big man, what's his name? I can't remember. Remo Grant in front of him. It has cost him a couple of seconds here. Is it going to hurt him on the pit stop window? We'll find out very shortly between himself and Banachek. But Remo Grant is out of the pits and he's on the soft compound tyre. Fergo was there. Lachlan Grant struggling too in the background there as well. But the soft compound tyre for Remo, he knows it's time to get on and go hammer time here for the race win. He can taste it. He can smell it. Grant's going to try and fight him to the very end. But the race hasn't been his way for Grant tonight. It's Grant versus Grant, ladies and gentlemen. Separated between a last letter of the alphabet. Very confusing if you're right there in the alphabetical department, but the old Shakespearean of me will come out beautiful and strong.
That's right. Which consonant will rule supreme, a D or a T? But I tell you what, all this battling between these two is just playing into the hands of Ferguson. If I was him, it's probably time now to dip into the pits, cover him off, and he'll come out right in front of these guys, and by a fair margin too, I'd imagine. But he still has the advantage of clear track in front of him. You can see on the track map there's a couple of back markers coming up, 13 and 14. That'll be Simon's Cosmoricus. So it's probably time, I reckon, by the time you catch them, jump into the pits before you catch them. You don't want to be trying to navigate those guys because you will give up a little bit of lap time there. But I tell you what, this race turning out beautifully for Andrew Ferguson at the moment. And that last lap around, a 1:45 dead. That's pretty quick, ladies and gentlemen. That's all he needs to do. A couple more of those. Oh, I'll tell you what, he doesn't need to do. Just keep slapping the wall. He's going to give up that good pace, and that's pretty much P1 provisionally once he comes through the pit lane.
Yeah, 47.6 I think was his last lap. His best is a 45.1. So he's 2.5 seconds off where his best is on those mediums. So they are dead as a dog's dinner, I'm telling you that at the moment. And Banachek is just clawing his way back through the grill. The rain of grass continues to happen. I don't know if that's the Greens just sitting there and protesting about these guys running around on E85 or Alf Fuel or whatever, but it's raining at the point of a circuit, not for the track disadvantage sort of situation though. And Banachek knows how to go about it. I'm going to try and see if this bloody pit stop thing tells me if it doesn't or not. It might be accurate there, Christopher, as well.
Yeah,
the time
I think it is.
So Fergo, Banachek and Pedersen have not taken their pit stop. Grant is the first man to do so, and he is the man in 4th place. And however, we've got to check on where he is in the timing tower department here, if I can get it back to where it was.
Oh, no.
There it is. And we'll go to the gaps. It is how long is that? That's 22 seconds away is Lachlan Grant from taking P1 off Ferguson. So Fergo now needs to think about where he's going to come in. He's got this final chicane, and he's going to come in.
He's got to come in now because Grant has just been unleashed past Grand, and now we'll be making up time that'll be eating into Andrew Ferguson's lead. He was quicker than those two guys by 2 seconds around that last lap, but if he goes around one more time, I think that'll be enough for Grant to probably catch up that gap. And now he's gone past the pit lane again. That could be the lead just given up there by Ferguson. By the time he comes through, I'd expect Lachlan Grant to be very, very close to where he is on the track.
Yeah, we'll think about it and see what it comes to fruition. I couldn't agree more, though. However, Chris, I think that is definitely the old race win strategy gone. But if Lachlan Grant keeps slapping those walls, he might end up with a DNF, and we'll see what happens. Banachek's into the pits, so he's already lost that position. P4 and 5 gone for Banachek, but it's still P3 overall. How far is Jason McFadden? There he is. He's overtaken Banachek as well, who's just started moving. So it is now a P4 here for Bananarama. McFadden has come out, and Bananarama has come out on a set of hards. I don't know if that's a strategy with 13 minutes to go that I would have picked. But if it's on the bingo card for it, he could definitely, Christopher Munro, turn the screws and prove us all wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just got to hold on here, and maybe he gets the best sort of tyre temperature wear through that. But I'll tell you what, Lachlan Grant, his last lap around was a 46.2, plays a 47.3 from Andrew Ferguson. So Lachlan Grant pretty much on terms neck and neck, I'm going to say. They're door to door out there on the circuit. Ferguson, if he doesn't come in this time, he can kiss that lead goodbye. But even if he does come in, it's going to be very close. Needs to nail that pit stop, get that new set of softs on, and go hard, because Lachlan Grant, just flying out there at the moment, is doing well. He's not quite personal best territory, but he's setting good lap times. And where is Ferguson on the track? He's coming around the final turn. Let's see what happens here. He needs to come in. He does. He's listening to us. Comes in with a little wag of the tail. So this will be very close with him and Lachlan Grant by the time he gets around. We'll see where he is, just rounding the final turn here as well. So I think that pretty much is the lead. Kissed goodbye for Andrew Ferguson. Just held on too many laps there in the lead of the race. Should have ducked in when we told him to the first time. He'll learn from that mistake, ladies and gentlemen. You've got to listen to the super coaches out here, ladies and gents. He's actually given up the ghost to Remo as well, just holding on to that dead set of tyres just a little bit too long. There goes Remo up the inside. Thank you very much. And it will be battle stations here for the end of the race. 12 minutes to go.
What a strategical genius of a man is this guy, Lachlan Grant. Just knew it was happening. He's on the tyre deficit though, however, and on the hard compound, so he's on the slowest of the two. Is that going to hurt him overall with this little gap? It's only 2.3 seconds or thereabouts, I reckon, by the time this race comes to fruition, with 11.5 minutes and change left to go in this one. It could be on. We've had some casualties. We've had Ezra Simons, Harrison, and poor old Birdman Crowther in the background. DNF out of this race, and this man doesn't care because he is leading it on the alternate set of compounds that we would probably see. But he did pit a bit earlier than the rest of them, and he's just going to have to hold on and survive here from an angry Remo Grant, an angry Fergo coming right behind him at a rate of knots. It's 2.1 seconds now as we're 2/3 of the way around this Canberra circuit for Lachlan Grant. He's got a championship to win here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the penultimate round, so one more round to go after this one, if you don't know what the English lexicon means by penultimate. And he could sew up the championship right here, right now. His closest competitor is Dean Hanley at the moment, who is in 9th place, so it's 8 positions disadvantage here. Massive points here for Dino, who's had a shocker in this one, but it's all on for Grant here to maybe take the chockies. And look at Doc Elliott up the inside there, just getting around some cars in front and behind him. That is a lap traffic car of Rob Priest travelling right behind him, because the next guy on circuit is this man, the chef, who is just 11 seconds, if you don't mind, 12 seconds away from the top 10. He could be on like Donkey Kong, but look at the times. 45.7 for this man, Lachlan Grant out in front on the set of hards. 46.1 for Remo Grant on the set of soft compound tyres. And Fergo, who just came out of the pits, did a 2-minute flat. So we'll see what this guy's doing pace relative-wise to the guys out in front. And if he gets close enough to Remo Grant here with about 8 or 7 minutes to go, I think it could be on here like Donkey Kong for P1.
Oh, it could be. Yeah, that'll be a nice little finish to this round, and a nice way to cap it off too. It's been a great rounds racing so far. Everyone's kept it mean and clean, and considering what we thought it might have been coming into this race, we haven't had that many casualties. To be fair, only 3 in this session. But I don't think we had only one of Grey Ward, but that was not to do with the track. That was more of a technical drama on his end, hardware related. But now Ferguson has to do the hard work again and overtake Remo. He knows where he can do it. He's done it before.
Oh, no.
And look at this, Remo just outbraking himself, inviting Andrew Ferguson up the inside on the exit. And easy as you like, gets that job done and back into P2. And the pursuit of Lachlan Grant is on.
2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. That's... Oh, no! Fergo's binned it!
God.
It was on like Donkey Kong. There goes McFadden, who's had to change to the inside field and smack his car up as well to avoid Ferguson just parked there in the chicane. Great awareness there from McFadden to see that coming and not clatter into the back end of him. Fergo had a race win under his clutches. He could nearly taste the DNA under his fingernails after this one. And he slapped it again and absolutely pirouetted. He's absolutely red misted himself out of this one. He will be as angry as anything. There's Banachek into the back of him too. Oh, goodness me. Banana Rama. Dead set. Unlucky for him. Here comes Cosmoricus, who's lapped, by the way, so don't worry about him. But, geez Louise, Fergo, you could have had it, son. And you bottled it at the dying nth degree, and Lachlan Grant will be breathing the biggest sigh of relief, like he's been in an underground chamber for about 20 years with that man taking his first breath, because he knows he has got the pace advantage over Remo Grant, even though the tyre offset is different.
Yeah, he's just got to hold on. And I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean too much to get the P1 here. All he's really looking out for are his nemesis in the championship, the main one being down there in 9th position. Dean Hanley's going to drop a heap of points in this one. So Grant, he can come second, he can come third. He'll still be a big gap there in the championship as a result. So just needs to get around in one piece, really finish it off. Whether it's in the top 2, in the top 3, it doesn't really concern him too much. So if even if it was under pressure there from Andrew Ferguson, he might have just done the old sidestep and say, here you go, mate, take the P1. I'm not going to risk the possibility of getting absolutely torched and put into the bin and finishing worse down than P2.
Well, yeah, if you're in the Fergo brain, I don't think that was the aim, to just pit yourself into a wall there and not get a race win. But I don't know. He may be just thinking about the long game, and being the gentleman that he is Andrew Ferguson. Nonetheless, though, that man that we have got on screen is leading this one, but it's closing in. It's 1.5 seconds now. It's 2.2 between Grant and a Grant. Goodness gracious me, I'm going to have to get used to that one. And fair dinkum in the old strategical vocabulary department tonight. Yeah. It's going to be tough if these two start coming together here at the moment. McFadden has got himself up into P3 though, so he's loving life. He's absolutely singing to the high heavens here. A podium for him is going to be a beautiful spot to be if he can keep it there. Has a habit. There's this man of Osama bin Laden it at the worst possible time. So if he can keep it on the circuit, he's got 6 seconds of insurance between himself and Pedersen there for 4th place. He should be right up there as well. And it's just a bit of a field spread here at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. It's about average 3.5 seconds between the whole field, up and down at the moment. And we can just see how these different drivers go about it. Bananarama has just driven very, very nicely tonight. He's been super clean, to be quite truthful. Never got in any incidents that involved himself and another driver that was his fault, and he's just driven very, very nicely indeed. He punted into Fergo before, but this guy has got to have his hats taken off to him tonight and bowed at the preceding and the checkered flag wave to this one if he keeps it there in P6.
Yeah, top 6 there for Bananarama. And, I mean, the top 5's not out of the question either, because Ferguson will be driving in quite a red, misty manner after what just happened to him. So yeah, I wouldn't rule out something disastrous happening to him in the next few laps as well, if he can manage to calm down and breathe out that big diaphragm of his and can finish off this race cleanly. Up ahead, we've got Pedersen up there in the top 4. Great result from him so far. Jason McFadden up there in the championships now. He'll be actually maybe even challenging for P2 in this championship as a result of this race, with Hanley finishing down there in 9th provisionally so far with 5 minutes to go. That could be a pretty big jump there for Jace in the grand scheme of the old championship hunt.
The old hunt is on, ladies and gentlemen, for the final round. Who's going to take P2 and 3? I think P1's going to be sold, done, won, and all over, with the gavel being shut down, slammed on that piece of timber for Lachlan Grant. But hats off and kudos to these guys at the moment, with Remo Grant being number one inside the top 3. McFadden also so far inside the top 3. Pedersen driving the wheels off this thing. Canberra's just come to his absolute strengths as well. Fergo been up there for the time being too. So hats off to these boys. They've shown the rest of the quick guys how to go about it, but we've got to get on to one man. Oh, geez, Fergo just slapped the wall again there, nearly DNF'd himself one more time. But the car that's got more hits than Elvis, George Michael and Freddie Mercury in the front and rear department is his car on the grid, is Cosmoricus. Bilko Pack, so to speak, is his man, and he is driving really, really well as well inside the top 15. Minimal practice, just rocks up, keeps it out of the wall mostly. I would say, but the old battle scars are there on the front of his Falcon to prove that he has not been out of a wall at any stage so far, but driving really, really nicely for top 12. Doc Elliott, what could have been for him tonight so far as well, Chris? He's driving really, really nicely, but a little bit of misdemeanor there for him at it. But can this man, Remo Grant, at the front of the field, hunt down that 1.2 second gap between himself and Lachlan Grant, who's on the hard comp band tyres? 3 minutes and 40 odd seconds left to go. It's all going to be down to the wire here. I'm going to predict if Remo Grant can just get that VK Commodore nicely dancing on the rear end and push that car to the nth degree with those hard compound tyres of Lachlan Grant. It could be a little bit feisty there. One slip, one oversteer moment on those hard compound tyres, and they are so hot.
Oh yeah, hotter than a Tuesday night of Vindaloo. Don't you worry about that. The specials there, 2 for 1. And that means it's twice as hot, folks. But look at this, Remo Grant doing a good job. He's not too far behind there for Lockie, and Lockie just slowing down, I think, just taking things easy and just trying to round off this race and pop that one in the books. He's got a bit of traffic in front of him there. It looks like Sam Bensley just blue flagging in the correct manner, as you can see Parliament House there in the background. A nice little note of this track that I didn't notice there before. So there you go. You can see Kim Beasley just parked up on top there with a big old box full of nachos and finishing that off in style. Watching the sunset and watching these old school V8s, big bangers clap around the old Canberra Street circuit.
As the old diabetes starts to kick in to old Kim Beasley, and the high blood pressure and the high salt levels in his blood and everything, being the second head of the cheese board in this country, Kim Beasley for sure should have been up there and out there in the crowd, but I can't see a big fat man out there anywhere on the side of the screen. On the spectator department, and those people out on the circuit give me the creeps when they start looking at me. It's like I've got a zombie apocalypse and I'm on the set of bloody World War Z or something. Goodness me, they're freaky. But Fergo has decreased that gap with 1 minute and 50 odd seconds to go. It's only 1.7 seconds. There's Pedersen in the foreground there. On the Sockgone Pantire, the red mist has ascended from the cockpit, I reckon, on Fergo, and he's just starting to get his rhythm again. A 46 dead was his last time around, and he's just had a little green sector in the first one. So he's just got his rhythm again. Is it going to be enough to take Pedersen here for P4? I don't know. On the recovery drive is Andrew Ferguson. But around this Canberra Street circuit, we've seen wheels come off at the best of times. We've seen people flip tonight. We've seen people get yeeted nearly upside down, just reversing at 5k an hour into a tyre bundle. We've had it all here at the Big Bangers here tonight, and it's going to be one man who takes the win, and it looks like it's going to be Lachlan Grant here at this stage. With 1 minute to go in proceedings, that guy has just driven the absolute tits off this thing. Strategical genius, Christopher, and loving life out in front.
Yeah, well, mate, pretty much got it handed to him, really. It was a bit of a mistake in the strategical department from Ferguson, really. Had he pitted the lap before, he would have come out in front of this lot, and then it would have been on mano a mano on the way into the to the checkered flag here. But that is not how it worked out. Fergo hung on maybe just 1 or 2 laps too long there on those shagged set of medium tyres. And that was enough for Grant just to be able to slot through there in the hard compound, just keeping his nose out of trouble, keeping that car straight and pretty decent in the lap times department as well, as he comes down through this little right, left and right chicane. He's got 10 seconds to go in the lap. That'll be enough. He might just pull it over here and just cross the line after the timer ticks down. But I think it's going to be too late. It'll go around one more time.
No.
Willie, it's going to be the last lap. Lachlan Grant takes the victory by a bee's dick about going around one more time as well. But that is the championship leader. And that's, Remo Grant there in second position. Great result from Remo. I don't think he's had a podium yet. And McFadden, no stranger to a podium, gets a P3.
Beautiful stuff there from Lachlan Grant. Pedersen will get fourth, and Fergo will have to settle for fifth, and he's just going to yeet it straight into the wall there and break his own wrists in the meantime as well. Not happy with himself. Banachek, he is very happy with himself. A sixth place for him. Thought of Sandra's love child coming around. What could have been for that night, this guy tonight as well. And James Bullock could have been up there. Tommy Corks gets 8th place, and he'll show us how to drift one of these things with that joystick advantage. Can just hang it on the slip angle everywhere as well. Dean Handley, disappointing for him. He will be disappointed seeing his championship rival getting the win, and he only has to settle for a 9th place. Unfortunately for that man, Bill Cosmarigas in the background. We'll get to him in a sec. The chef is just pulling over just before the line and just goes, all right, I'll cross the line there, mate. Don't worry about it. Doc Elliott comes through in 11th place. I think he was waiting for Doc there to come through and take that position, but he doesn't. Cosmo gets 12th place. No practice, no worries for him. A top 15. Nice stuff from that man. Joshy Sadler will be happy with a 13th place for him. Wheeler Wallace for Scotland will be at the jury on Monday morning, just seeing if he does represent Scotland any longer, for goodness gracious me. Sam Bensley gets a 15th place for him. He'll be happy with that. Mr. ARD importing. Rob Priest will be looking for some holy water after that one tonight, especially in the old effort department. There's no sinning, but geez Louise, has he got his work cut out here at the Canberra Street Circuit, and 17th place goes to one Samuel Bensley. But the man of the moment, the man of the hour, cometh the man, is Lachlan Grant.
Yes, absolutely. Cracking drive there from Lockie. Concretes his place in front of the championship with one round to go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 weeks away from now. That will be, I believe, the 7th of December. I'm not going to be around, Zach O'Reilly. I'm going to be in Sydney for a wedding, so I'm going to miss that one. But I'll be watching along, and hopefully a crew of drunkards at this wedding as well will be cheering on this man to take the chockies out at Sandown as the final round.
One man has won it. One man leads the championship, and only one person can win it, and it is this man on your screen. Lachlan Grant takes a win in the 45-minute up, and he's taken the championship win as well by a country mile over the rest of them. Boy, oh boy, this guy's driven it very well. He's hit some form of late. He's going to be up as well in the next half an hour live on iRacing too, so look out for that. Simsational TV's own Lachlan Grant. But he takes a win tonight, and for me, he takes the driver of the day, Chockies, and definitely a performance to witness there for Lachlan Grant. Had it all up against him, had people in front of him crashing, made his way through, and got the job done beautifully there to Lachlan Grant. So a big congratulations to him. Big congratulations to Remo Grant as well. He did a very, very nice job indeed. He's got no tyres left on that thing, so he's burnt them off. And McFadden is also trying to achieve the same feat in the pit lane. Podium for Brian's cousin here. Well, he's got 10,000 IQ points coming his way, so the most intelligent man will be on the circuit in a couple of weeks' time for the final round at Sandown. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to end us with a Simsational TV production here at Canberra Street Circuit. Thank you to Mr. BCRC himself for updating and improving this circuit to be what it is, and a beautiful spectacle it was. The drivers did enjoy that one. I'm telling you, that was a fantastic place to be. But for myself and Christopher Magical Munro in the commentary box here tonight, it is goodbye from us. Thank you very much to all of our live chatters tuning in. It's been fantastic to have you all here. We've had Kirsty in there, we've had Will Kirk, we've had Brendan. Liam Holyoke was in there as well. Gray Ward was in there, talking about his VR. B was in there too, having a good crack, and has been happy to have you all along with us. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Bilko Pack, Speed Nation, SDT, and ARD importing as well, our Patreon supporters and our subscribers and likers. If you haven't already, please, for the love of Christ, give this video a like and a subscribe. If you haven't already to the channel, you know what to do. Do that right now, and we will thank you forever. But until 20 minutes' time. We'll be back here at Simsational TV, live on iRacing. And until next time, I've been Zach O'Reilly. You're not. Christopher Munro puts the M in magnificent. And we'll be back in just a few moments, live from iRacing. And I can't wait for that. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's goodbye, good evening, and good night. Until next time, keep it flat out.